I spent 2 weeks here at the Florida Baseball Armory with my son and a friend, and I observed what Randy was doing over the week, and I came in knowing a little bit about what he does, and then after the end of 2 weeks, I would like to think I certainly know more about what he does, and I'd like to just take a crack at what it is that I learned and maybe share to put it in layman's terms, because when you come to the Florida Baseball Armory, you're presented with some vocabulary which is complex in nature, but it's really difficult to make complex things simple. And Randy does a great job, but I'd like to take a crack at this. So there are two studies which I've always been intrigued by because, in a sense, they seem counterintuitive. And the one study was that the more force you can produce at the rubber, the harder that you throw. And when I say force, I mean an impulse, a force times product. But then your stride length is not highly correlated to velocity. So on one end, force into the ground at the rubber is a good thing, but then it doesn't correlate to the length of your stride. So there's a disconnect somewhere in there. You would think that potentially the harder you push at the rubber, the more ground that you would gain. Those two studies would both imply that you could throw harder. And then what you realize by watching what the Florida Baseball Armory does is they create a system where they can create force at the rubber and efficiently transfer it to your fingers at release. And that's where velocity lives, that's where command lives, that's where movement lives. And they do an incredible job, and the foundation behind what they do is essentially they work from big muscles to little muscles. They train the big muscles to work efficiently, in turn passing that momentum off to the next biggest muscle until all the way at the end where the arm is moving efficiently. And I saw many examples improve over the 2 weeks. I saw, as far as the metrics go and Rhapsodo, I saw velocity go up, I saw spin rate go up, I saw extension go up. And again, it hinges on this simple premise of allowing the body to be more efficient in its movements. But to allow the body to be more efficient in its movements, you have to understand how a force at the rubber has to be translated into extension at release. And the Armory does an incredible job. They give you a plan. They give you a plan which you can implement personally, that you can begin to understand why it is you do what you do. They create a healthy arm through putting the body under tension of a bar. They do it with varying the loads, and they do it with constraining the time required to perform the task. And it's just an incredible opportunity to grow. I told Randy that I think he lives in the hope industry, that players come down here with the mindset of, I want to improve. Randy basically turns over a plan for them to implement. And as long as they're disciplined in their plan, the results come. And some come faster than others, but the results come. So I couldn't have been more impressed with what I saw. He's improved. His message has improved over the years. And I know there's lots of resources out there to get your information from, but I would argue that the Florida Baseball Armory is certainly at the leading edge of the industry.